Hello everyone, my name is Mantis Sebastian, and in the air tonight we've got some Stokeby 4th generation 1989 Max Eric's blend. This is an incredible Virginia, and I'm smoking it out of an incredible pipe. Look at this beautiful 4th generation pipe. Gold with some dark streaks. And I mean, I think you'll agree that I could not have picked a better pipe. Because look at that. Look at that flake. Gold with some dark streaks. That is synergy, my friends. That is beautiful. What an absolutely goated pairing. Now, I probably would have looked this tin over 1,000 times at a local tobacconist. Especially one that's got a pretty big selection. You've got some purple and gold, that's pretty regal, but it's a standard tin. But when my buddy Juan, shout out Juan, mentioned to me that he stocks several tins of this and ages it and absolutely loves it, I knew I had to try it out. Pardon me, I'm going to use this old-timer knife as my tamper here. And that's because Juan's one of those guys who's pretty soft-spoken, but he knows the Virginia pipe tobacco. In fact, that's all he smokes. Some Virginia Periques are about as adventurous as he gets, and he likes what he likes, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a type, don't be ashamed, embrace it. Juan is one of those guys, and for him, Virginias are top notch, and he smokes them year round. So, I'm always anxious to see what Virginias he recommends. And when I found out that this is one of his favorites, I was intrigued. And I just can't stop smoking it now. This is an interesting pipe, kind of a Danish style. Looks wide at the top, but it narrows down. So I often don't pack it all the way up when I'm smoking Virginias out of it. And I've only been smoking vapors or Virginias, but when I'm smoking straight Virginias out of it, I just pack up the bottom half because it narrows out a bit. Tastes wonderful. Well, anyway, I was talking with a friend who recently got into pipe smoking, and I had mentioned that a certain tobacco, which I won't mention because I want to review it here, it's going to be in the air on another night, had a little bit of citrus. And he said, how can you taste citrus in that? All I taste is fig and I think he said gingerbread, which is awesome that he was able to point that out, because a lot of the tobacco blends that have citrusy notes often do have some ginger notes and some baking spices. So it got me thinking, what Virginia blends have a very obvious citrus note? Because a lot of them are citrusy and have some hay and some woody notes, and sometimes the hay and the wood and the earthy characteristics cover up the citrus. But then I thought about this. Juan's favorite. This 1989 4th generation. I would argue that this is one of the most citrusy blends for me. Or the golden slice, my buddy is always saying, tastes very citrusy. To me, that's a little bit more on the hay side. But when it comes to this 1989, I taste that citrus. So if you're interested in trying a citrusy Virginia blend, I'd say look no further than this. It's also, funny enough, got that ginger. Vanilla. I wouldn't be surprised if that vanilla was an additive, a casing, or a topping. I think so. But it's ever so slight. And for the most part, I just get warm, citrusy, almost banana bready ginger Virginias. And it is just delightful. Juan said to me that if he could only smoke 10 blends, this would be one of them. And mind you, all of those blends would be Virginias. And I think for a lot of people who love straight Virginias, and those who just like them, it can be difficult to tell the difference between them. But I think this one definitely stands out because of that citrus top note. Let's talk about philosophy of use. When would you smoke this blend? Something about this blend feels out of place right now. In my little office at 11:30 p.m. It's late. This blend has sort of a lively note to it. And I could see myself smoking this in a public setting. I think the room note is wonderful. It's a very good smelling tobacco. I certainly wouldn't call it an aromatic, but it smells great. I would smoke this, especially with that citrus, while sitting at a table outside of a coffee shop, drinking a nice double espresso, watching people pass by in the middle of the day. And if I could pick my geography, I'd be somewhere in the Mediterranean. Maybe Milan, Italy. Not Mediterranean, but not on the ocean, somewhere a bit inland. Watching very well-dressed people pass by. That's what I get from this. That's the picture that this paints in my head. What would I pair this with as far as alcoholic beverages go? This Tomatin 12-year sherry cask, I think, goes really well with it. That rich sherry finish to the scotch. Look at those legs. Goes really well with the citrusiness of this Virginia blend. What's interesting about this is, though I get the citrus and those bright Virginias, I don't get too much hay, which is nice. because it really allows me to focus on that profile. Anyway, I bought 6 tins of this. And I'm interested in aging some. This tin is about 2 years old. And then I'd be really interested to see what happens at 5 or 7 years. I bet it'd be spectacular. If it seems like I'm gushing over this tobacco, it's because I am. I really like this. I enjoy this a lot. This is something that I am going to stock regularly. And it's also something that I've found myself smoking quite often these past couple of weeks. Especially after a cigar. When I really want to have a pipe, maybe I want to smoke 2 cigars, but I want to cleanse my palate in between them and have a nice pipe in between. Well, I think this is a really nice palate cleanser. And it's sometimes when you, smoke a cigar and then smoke a pipe, you can have issues tasting the tobacco. But you're not going to have any problems here. And I can tell you that because I smoked 2 cigars today. The first cigar I had was a 1502 Blue Sapphire Lancero. Excellent Nicaraguan Puro. And the second one I don't know much about. It's a My Father Cigars Le Bijou. Actually, I have a branded lighter for that cigar. And even after smoking both of those cigars, these flavors are so vibrant and rich. And they really stand out. Anyway, I don't know if I could say much more about this pipe tobacco. You got to try it out yourself. If you're interested in just having a pipe tobacco that really is an example of a good, bright, citrusy blend, I'd say look no further than this 4th generation 1989. Look at that. Straight grain on that wall. And then we've got a little knot here, like a black hole on the other side. And you know what's interesting? This side is a little bit warmer than this side. Kind of shows how pipe grain can change the temperature. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sticking with me. Cheers. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. And thanks for joining me on episode 2 of In the Air Tonight. Have a good one. May all the saints and angels in heaven pray for you, and may God bless you.